Next on Worcester News tonight, remembering a great athlete from Central Mass, the latest on the tragic death of a mixed martial arts fighter. Plus, city officials proposing a site for a Paw Sox baseball stadium. Could minor league baseball soon come to the Canal District? We'll have more. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Catherine Rioli. We continue to follow the death of a mixed martial arts fighter from Central Mass. Rondell Clark passed away Tuesday, just 3 days after a fight. Tonight we're hearing from the commentator who called the match as he recalls what happened. Brittany Schaefer reports.
When I heard the ultimate news that he passed, it was just surreal to me. It was like, I can't believe that I witnessed that.
Andy Kurzonkowski says he's never seen a fight end so tragically. The mixed martial arts commentator was calling the fights the night Sutton's Rondell Clark had his last fight.
When he didn't get up, then it started getting scary. Hopefully it was just a dehydration issue, and they took him out on the board and in the stretcher. It was like, that's when it really hit.
The 26-year-old died Tuesday morning. He was knocked out by an opponent 3 days earlier.
His opponent, Ryan Dunn, was on top and he was throwing punches, but they weren't like big punches hitting him in the head, making his head bounce off. They were just like little pitter-patter punches. And the referee had to stop because Rondell wasn't responding, wasn't moving, wasn't intelligently defending himself.
Kurzonkowski says an autopsy is being performed to determine the exact cause of death, but he says a head injury isn't suspected.
In order to get cleared to fight, you have to go through medicals. You have to get a physical, EKG. You have to get your head scanned. You have to get your brain examined. There's 2 doctors cage side at all times. All the doctors have concluded that there was no head trauma sustained in the fight that was the cause of death.
Clark went to Westboro High School and was the captain of the football team. His coach says he was a star athlete with a winning personality.
He was a great person all around. I mean, he really took care of others. He was a great leader. And really took to the studying. So he was a well-rounded person and really thoughtful person.
Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.
Congressman Jim McGovern joining UMass Medical School and city leaders today in a discussion highlighting the vital role of federal funding in health institutions. It was part of a response to President Trump's 2018 proposed budget that includes cuts to National Institutes of Health. Right now, the president is proposing a 22% cut. Last year, UMass Medical School received almost $154 million in federal funds, but that could change if the president's current budget passes. Congressman McGovern stressed the importance of funding institutions like UMass and says cutting back would have a negative impact on critical medical research.
Research that goes on here at this place is dedicated to finding cures to everything from diabetes to cancer to Alzheimer's, and they do this research in large part funded through the National Institutes of Health. The head of NIH, I once asked the head of NIH, whether we will ever find a cure to cancer or Alzheimer's disease or Parkinson's, and his response to me is, yes, we will. The question is, when, and that depends on whether or not we step up to the plate and provide the resources. I want to provide the resources.
And McGovern says the proposed cuts to National Institutes of Health will be taken up in the House and Senate before the budget makes its way to the president's desk. Second Chance Animal Shelter celebrates a new clinic today in Worcester. For pet owners in Worcester, And today the organization held a ribbon cutting. Second Chance Animal Services will officially open next week. The clinic will offer subsidized veterinary services for pet owners on a fixed income. It's part of an effort to provide accessible and affordable care to pets and their owners in need. Second Chance Animal Services say they are thrilled to open the new location.
To our other facilities, so it's really nice to have the facility here in Worcester for them. We're very excited to have it, and we look forward to helping a lot of animals. Right now we help 26,000 animals a year, and we expect to help another 4,000 or 5,000 a year.
Second Chance Animal Services will have all medical equipment and spay-neuter surgery techniques thanks to a $180,000 donation from PetSmart Charities. The clinic will offer services at the Main Street location beginning next week. Worcester City Councilors approved Mayor Joseph Petty's resolution trying to bring the Paw Sox to the city. The stadium would be built at the former Wyman Gorman property, and business owners in the Canal District say they are supporting the effort. Canjandro reports.
Business owners in Worcester's Canal District say they welcome a new stadium in their neighborhood if the Paw Sox make the move to the city.
But this would be a huge economic spark plug for the city of Worcester. Countless jobs would come out of this, economic spin-off and development, urban revitalization here in the Canal District.
Tuesday, city councilors showed support for Mayor Joseph Petty's resolution, allowing city manager Edward Augustus to do all in his power to lure the team to Worcester. Guy Glotis is the owner of the Ballot Box Bar and urged the council to pursue the team at Tuesday's meeting. Glotis says in order to make money, Worcester first has to spend money.
If you want to be a great city, you have to invest in the future. And you see a lot of great cities that invest in stadiums and education and biotechnology. Worcester's got to make that investment when it comes to having the Paw Sox here.
Compass Tavern owner David Dominic is a Yankees fan, but still wants to see the Paw Sox make their way to Worcester. Dominic says having the team in the city would create year-round business in the Canal District.
I know what effect the Pawtucket Red Sox had in Pawtucket. It'll be a nice complement to the hockey being October to March or April, and this being April to October. I think it's fabulous.
The mayor's resolution passed by a margin of 8-1, with the only dissenting vote coming from Councilor Constantina Lukes. Councilors George Russell and Christian King voted in favor of the resolution and believe the Paw Sox coming to Worcester is not just good for the city, but for the team as well.
Because they wanted to be closer to an urban economic center, and that's what bringing it into downtown Worcester basically would do. It would accomplish that and would make it an actually better location for them.
This is an opportunity not just for the city of Worcester, it's also an opportunity for the Red Sox minor league affiliate to come into a great city.
Now, with excitement growing throughout Worcester, city officials emphasize the fact that it is still very early in the process and nothing official has taken place yet. Tuesday's passed resolution was City Council's way of showing they do support a potential move if the Red Sox decide to leave Pawtucket when their lease ends in 2020. In Worcester, I'm Cam Jandro, Worcester News Tonight.
And a team already in the city is drawing major crowds. The Worcester Bravehearts reported their crowds were up 6% this year. And according to Ballpark Digest, the team ranked 7th of 153 college summer teams in average attendance. Worcester was in the top 10 in total attendance for the season. And in New England, the Bravehearts drew more fans to their games than any other college summer team. Now to Dudley, the town highway superintendent is under fire. It all has to do with a comment he posted about the coverage of the recent violence in Virginia. Alicia Palumbo has the details.
Irregardless of who it is, that's uncalled for.
Dudley's longtime highway superintendent Daniel Guyon is under fire for racist comments he posted on Facebook earlier this week about a black CNN commentator.
I was shocked and saddened to see it.
Dudley Town Administrator Greg Baluconis says he took immediate action when he learned about the comments, placing Guyon on paid administrative leave while he conducts an internal investigation.
I think Dan got caught up in the heat of the moment. I think he got engaged in conversation, emotion took over, and that's what ended up happening. But as you know, once those words are out there, you can't take them back. And I know that he regrets that it happened.
Guyon told the Worcester Telegram and Gazette, quote, "It was my own personal time and my own personal Facebook page. It was a stupid thing to do. I'm not a racist or anything like that, but it was in the heat of the moment." Paul Rills says he's known Guyon for 2 decades and says the remarks are totally out of character.
Just was probably a poor choice of words. I don't think he's like that at all. A very nice gentleman.
But many people we spoke to in Dudley say Guyon should apologize.
I don't know what he was thinking to make a comment like that.
He should have stopped and thought before he opened his mouth up and said something.
Guyon will remain on paid administrative leave at least through Monday, when the town administrator will make disciplinary recommendations to the Board of Selectmen. They will decide whether Guyon will get any additional punishment up to and including termination. In Dudley, Alicia Palumbo, Worcester News Tonight.
Back to school season is right around the corner, and the Worcester Public Schools and UMass Medical Schools are making sure students are prepared. The medical school donated necessary supplies to help students become better learners. Our Rosalind Flaherty has the story.
Responding to a critical need, UMass Medical School is doing some back-to-school shopping to help out Worcester Public School students.
It's impossible to build a house without a foundation. It's impossible to have a great education without the foundation.
Supported by a $3 million donation to the medical school, they bought washers and dryers for 4 city schools. It's also creating and supplying a food pantry at North High School and giving out backpacks full of supplies to hundreds of students.
It actually brought tears to my eyes to come in here to see this.
Last year, a washer and dryer was installed at Sullivan Middle School. Superintendent Maureen Benenda says students were not coming to class because they didn't have clean clothes. She says the issue led to a conversation with the chancellor of the medical school.
An idea and a dedicated community partner stepping up and making it happen.
There's a simple way to solve that problem, and that's to provide washers and dryers.
Maura Mahoney is the manager of social emotional learning for the district. She says they want kids to come to school and feel comfortable in the learning environment.
Once you hit middle school, other kids will comment on you. You can be ostracized.
Benenda says they will be looking to see if the machines boost attendance and what today's donation does for school culture.
The school culture should become more positive because kids will feel like they're wanted and there are people in the community in their school that care about them.
Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News.